Yes, I really do think that Ethereum staking rewards can unlock a lot of financial innovation. You have to know I'm coming from the bond market originally. So interest rate markets, especially derivatives, are huge. We are speaking about 500 trillion with a T dollars in assets. And you know how large the crypto interest rate swap market is. It's zero. And so I think you know how important interest rates are. Yeah, we talk about the Fed all day. And I think if you don't have rates in the crypto market, you deprive it from an important utility. But before we talk about the innovation, maybe we do a little recap on why and how Ether provides rewards. So you know that the proof of stake protocol is the driving force of Ethereum. And if you hold ETH and you bond your ETH to the chain and you're validating transactions, you are securing the canonical state of truth for Ethereum, and you get rewards for that. So basically, it's two things. Yeah, you have, as a validator, you get new issuance. That's basically inflation, newly minted ETH. And you have priority fees. So a user want to get their transactions done in the block, and they pay an extra fee. Now the MEV part is getting interesting. It stands for maximum extractable value, and that's just an intelligent reordering of transactions, mainly arbitrage on DEXs. And so a builder pays an additional fee to the validator to get those transactions in. So that's it. Inflation and transaction fees. The base fee, I come to that in a second, is an interesting feature, but has nothing to do with the rewards. Yeah, it reduces the supply of ETH and is more or less to the benefit to every ETH holder. Now, what's interesting is that you can take the daily rewards and you can annualize them. And suddenly you have a staking rewards rate. But the problem is, how high is this rate? Yeah, you can stake with Coinbase, with Kraken, you can stake with Figment, Blockdaemon, what have you, and all have a different rate. So in order to unlock financial innovation, you need a standardized benchmark for that. And so we thought we create that, and that's our staker rate. So the staker rate is the annualized daily rewards rate of Ethereum. So we indexize the whole Ethereum chain with our partner Figment together. So we have over 800,000 plus validators, take all the data and calculate an average rate for the Ethereum chain. And if you look at it, it reminds a little bit of Leinweber, yeah, the money market rate, or now, call it now SOFR. But you know the problem. In the past with Leinweber, it was centralized, opaque, and manipulated. With the staker rate, it's everything on chain, it's transparent, and you can make it immutable. That's very important. What you also see is you can have two components for this staking rate. Yeah, you see the orange area, that's the consensus layer rewards. So basically the inflation, very predictable. The more people are staking, the less the consensus layer rate, because you're sharing the same amount of rewards. But you see with the beginning of the merge, yeah, we additionally got this execution layer rewards, yeah, the priority fees and the MEV opportunities. And that brings a lot of volatility. And that's linked to economic activity on Ethereum. So whenever this activity is high, the rewards rate is shooting up. And if you do a deep dive, you see an interesting correlation. So whenever block space demand is high, yeah, layer ones, what do? They sell block space. So whenever demand is high for that block space, the rate is shooting up because people are bidding a high transaction fee for getting their orders or their transactions done. For example, during FTX, yeah, you're taking your money from the exchange to your wallet. Or the mini banking crisis we had in March this year, yeah, with the Silicon Valley Bank, for example. Yeah, USDC depegged for a short period, and people wanted to sell USDC and were panicking. But it's not always related to negative events. Yeah, so whenever, as I said, block space demand is high, that could also be for an NFT, or what we had for the Pepe meme coin token. Yeah, people had FOMO, so everybody wanted to get this token, and you see MEV opportunities are shooting up and the transaction fees. What you also can see is the state of the Ethereum chain. So at the moment we are around 4%, and that's due to there's nothing going on at the moment with Ethereum, right? You can look at a plethora of on-chain fundamentals, or you can just look at this staking rewards rate, and you can see if there's activity or not. Now, we can say 4% is not that attractive. Yeah, US Treasuries are higher, but at least in the Ethereum world, it's a real rate. And now I'm coming back to this burning. You have supply on the one hand of new Ethereum, and on the other hand, you are burning the base transaction fee. And whenever there is activity, and a lot of activity, then you burn more than you issue. So you also see that, generally speaking, a proof-of-stake consensus protocol is more efficient than proof-of-work. So I'm talking about the efficiency here because before the Bitcoin maxis are coming out. I'm not talking about the absolute level of security, but the efficiency, so the issuance per unit of security you get. So if Ethereum still was a proof-of-work protocol, you see it here, we would have an inflation of 3.2% versus the deflationary nature where we are now. So you can say you have a real rate of 4%, which is, I think, not bad at all. Now, I talked at the beginning of unlocking financial innovation. So what do I mean with that? So as we have a standardized rate, and by the way, some people say that the Ethereum staking rewards rate is the risk-free rate. Now, I have a problem with that expression, but I would say it's the lowest risk rate you can get. Why? Because it's non-custodial, so you have no counterparty risk, and the whole mechanism is enshrined in the base protocol, so you have no additional smart contract risk. So in that regard, you can say it's a very low risk rate compared to liquidity mining in DeFi or lending out your USDC. So what can you do with that? If you have a standardized neutral benchmark rate covering the whole Ethereum chain, first of all, of course, you can do a performance assessment. That means what is your staking as a service provider? What is he doing for a job? Does he provide a sufficient reward rate? Is he able to capture the MEV part? And so you can compare it with a benchmark. So it just brings more transparency. But the more exciting part is the whole derivatives market. So with the staking index, you can do interest rate swaps, other swaps. You can do risk transfer. For example, if you're a validator and you're getting the variable staking rewards rate and you want a fixed rate, you can do a fixed to variable swap. So for example, a hedge fund has an opinion on this staking rewards rate, so he pays he pays fixed rate to the validator pays a variable rate, and that's all based on the staker rate plus minus a spread, yeah, depending on what they are agreeing on. You can also merge the old world with the new world. Yeah, you can say, I bet on an increasing Ethereum staking rewards rates and on falling Fed funds. So you can do a basis swap, for example. You can also unlock a forward curve. Yeah, how great is that? Yeah, that's also missing in the Web3 world. And suddenly you can maybe evaluate assets which are denominated in ETH. For example, all the NFTs on Ethereum are denominated in ETH. So you can use the staking rewards rate as a discount rate. Or let's take the lending market. When you lend out your ETH, shouldn't it be based on the staking rewards rate plus a spread? And now you're doing, I don't know, it's a negotiated yield based on what basis. So you see, you can do a lot of new things with this rate, but I also have to say that maybe the easiest product to handle and to grasp is a total return product. And you all know we are just talking about the spot Bitcoin ETFs and very likely the Ethereum, spot Ethereum ETFs in the US. We have a lot of Ethereum ETNs in Europe. And yeah, we are all used more or less to this purple line. That's our standard Ethereum index. And shouldn't an Ethereum product also include the staking rewards rate? So I want to have that rate, similar to what you do in the stock world, in the equity world. You want a dividend. Yeah, you don't say to your portfolio manager, you keep the dividend, I'm just interested in the price return. And so what we did, we applied the staker index to our standard Ethereum index and came up with a total return product. So you see the performance since the merge, so September 2022. And you see a significant divergence. Yeah? As I said, the purple line is 0, slightly negative over the time period. But the total return index is up almost 14%. And that's over, you can say, a very short time period. So this opens up also flexibility for the issuer, where the issuer can decide, would you like to distribute the rewards or just accumulate the rewards? You can play with your management fee. Yeah, you can maybe reduce a management fee with the rewards. And if you do it with a transparent benchmark, as I said, it gives more transparency for the issuer in assessing their staking as a service provider. And it's also more transparency for the client in assessing, do I get a fair share of this revenue, right? Of course, you can stake without a benchmark, but nobody knows if the reward I get is really the fair reward or not. And so I think we are already talking with some issuers in Europe and in Asia, and they see the value of adding that. Of course, you have to consider liquidity. Yeah, that's the reason why we can set a utilization ratio here. So you don't have to stake 100% of your fund, maybe just 50%, because I have to explain that there's an entry and an exit queue at Ethereum. So it's a dynamic waiting line, so to say. Yeah, so if you bond your ETH, it can take several days to unlock them. Yeah, so you have to play with the liquidity. You can also add what we are currently discussing internally, a liquid staking derivative to your fund. So let's say you stake with a staking as a service provider 50%, and you have additional 30% with the liquid staking derivative. That provides you some additional buffer for money flowing in and out of your vehicle. So I hope you can share my excitement for this new rate. And you also have to keep in mind that's truly a global rate. Yeah, so we have Leinweber in the TradFi world for Europe. We have SOFR for the US world. We have another money market rate for Japan, for UK. Here we have an Ethereum staking rewards rate, which is truly global for everybody. So doing products on that rate is really easy, and you can reach a global audience. And I think that's pretty exciting. So yeah, that's basically the end of my presentation. If you are interested in learning more about Ethereum staking rewards rate, etc., you can visit our website, or we have a small booth upstairs. Yeah, you can talk to us. We are happy to answer any question here. So thank you very much.